check it out, man. A lot of you dudes is staying holeless because your catch hand ain't strong. So we gonna talk about it, man, and see if we can get that catch hand developing so we can start catching again. Y'all already know, this some game from the grassroots.
Taking the convo to high levels. Comment, like, and subscribe if you're enjoying Durable Minds Radio.
So yeah, man, let's kick it off, man. What I'm seeing in the game, and once again, man, I'm just a nobody who's a somebody, man, that's shooting his shit, man, and hopefully, like-minded people picking up what I'm putting down. But yeah, what I'm seeing in the lifestyle right now is a lot of these dudes don't even know how to utilize their catch hand. They don't know the value of a catch hand. They don't know the uniqueness of they self. So what they doing is they sounding like Dr. Seuss. They sounding like a broken record and saying the same thing they seeing on the internet or what they're hearing on the internet. And yeah, I get it. The game is very watered down to where you will see dudes that's dressing nice, got their money up. They talking about game gods and this, so they trying to install game to people. When reality is, them individuals are not really from the grassroots like the person that's listening, right? The person that's listening might be from the grassroots, so it doesn't add up. It's not relatable conversation. So that's why the ones in the grassroots, the pimps in the grassroots, have to develop their catch hand. They have to look at themselves in the mirror and find out what's unique about their self and bring the best out of their self and utilize that to when they approach a female, however they choose to approach a female, they have a uniqueness. And that's how you develop a catch hand. You got to find a uniqueness in yourself. If you can't find a uniqueness in yourself because we all different, then you might not never have your catch hand. You might just be having the catch hand of another man. You know what I'm saying? You might think, oh, that worked for him and it's going to work for you. But come to realize when you keep trying it, it doesn't work for you. Why? Because you ain't tapped into your uniqueness. You ain't tapped into what works for you. You ain't tapped into your grassroots game. Then they ask, Lace, how do I find my uniqueness though, P? And I always give an example of, when I came up in the game, there was no social media like that, right? To where if a female was to introduce a young pimp to the game, that young pimp couldn't run to the internet and go look up some nigga named Game God for some guidance on how to be a better pimp in the life. No, that young pimp had to be outside. He had to deal with slow nights. He had to deal with, sleeping in cars. He had to deal with eating fast food, staying in rooms, living out the trunk. He had to figure out how to be the best pimp for himself and for whoever's down with him in that stable. And some females come and go. And that only betters that pimp to find out his uniqueness. To find out, okay, what's unique about me that's going to keep a bitch around longer so I can have a bigger run. You're not going to find your uniqueness looking for it on the internet and reposting this and reposting that, thinking that's going to develop you. No, you got to go through the trial and errors. You got to go put in the footwork to really find out how to develop your uniqueness to what. Now you have confidence with that catch hand. Now that catch hand is natural. It doesn't go nowhere. It's like riding a bike because you done been through the game so long. Females came and gone so many times that your catch hand is always there. It's not going nowhere. But it takes a pimp to put his ego aside. It takes a pimp to let him tell himself that he does want to keep learning to really develop a better catch hand, right? Man, because in this game, having a catch hand is key, man. If you want to be a successful P, your catch hand got to be strong. I've always said that it's layers to having a catch hand, right? So yeah, you could get a bride's number or her social network, right? That's just one portion of having a catch hand. The second portion is, actually getting that female on your program, whether it's sitting her down, whether it's sending her, whatever the case may be, but she's adapting to your program and she's for your program. That's part of having a catch hand too. Lastly is her going to execute whatever your program is and then coming back, right? So, but before we move too fast, let's rewind and let's go back to having action, right? What I call having action is the beginning of the catch-in, where you get the female's number. When getting a female's number, it's crucial that you leave your print. Whatever your uniqueness is, whatever your pimp brain is thinking, you want to leave your print, right? Now you can be extra pimpish like everybody else is doing. And you know, if that's your print and that's what you stand on, that's what you doing. Now, if you're getting results from that, stick with it. You know what I'm saying? Peace, stick with it. But whatever your uniqueness is, you want to stick with it. Because I get it. A female, give their number out and play with a peep. You feel me? And that's why you want to make sure you leave your print. So just in case in the beginning they playing, you could fall back. And then they might double back and reach out to you because your uniqueness was left real firm in her membrane, right? You know what I'm saying? When you got action, man, when you get that number, make sure that you're spending your time useful with using that number. Meaning that you're leaning very, very hard on how your program is. Because these females will play with you, right? And you don't want no female playing with the pimpin's line. I understand that too. So that's why it's very important that you stay firm in that conversation, right? To where you're trying to narrow it down to your interview. You trying to get her to see, okay, I got the number with Hannon with an interview. Let's go somewhere and chop it up in person. And I get it. A female play on your line, say they want to chop it up for an interview, and then go MIA. But that's why having a catch-in is so important. Because with a catch-in, pimpin' gonna have multiple numbers to reach out to. You know what I mean? He gonna have actions at different numbers he been saved up that he ain't even reached out to yet. You know what I'm saying? He might got an old number that he forgot he had and go through his phone and see, oh shit, I got this number. You know what I mean? Because he's been working. So as he's working, his catch-in is getting stronger to where now he got a catalog of things he could just do, you feel me, on GP. He don't gotta go campaign right away. Why? Because he's put in the work already to where now he can kick back and start shooting his shots because his catch-in was strong. He got a little couple numbers. Well, his catch-in wasn't all the way strong, but the beginning of his catch-in, his action, girl see him first sight or on the internet or whatever and want to give him his number, that part is strong, right? Now, sometimes a lot of dudes, that part be strong. The beginning part of their catch-in is hella strong, but they reel in. And that's part of the catch-in. You got to be able to reel it in. See, a lot of these motherfuckers is getting these numbers and they not able to reel it in to get that female in their program. And that's the next part about having a catch-in. You got to be able to reel it in with that catch-in. Now, in today's game, these females that's in the lifestyle already, they not even choosing right away, right? So, moving forward, let's say the catch-in work, we got the number, the female's talking about the interview. So now, what's pimping to do at the interview? Because a lot of you cats right now, y'all get, the beginning of the catch-in be strong and meet the female at the interview, and your whole pimp mind go out the door because now you got the little cute female with you and all you thinking about is a fun time, right? That's how a lot of you niggas, y'all interviews be dropping, you feel me? Because y'all be so excited to have fun with that broad instead of be excited about funds with that broad, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, when you get to that interview, what is your conversation gonna be like? What are we leading with? Are we just trying to converse with this female to see how she is in life and see if she can have a fun night tonight and let's get some drinks and have some fun? Or are we trying to tap into this female's brain and see how she thinks about her finances of life, right? Those are some of the things a pimp brain is thinking on when he's going to these interviews. These interviews with these females are valuable moments, right? And the pimp knows that. So his approach, your first approach means everything, right? Being real in the beginning is going to set how she looks at you through the whole things, if it lasts or if it doesn't last. So, the pimp knows that. So at the interview, he wants to keep that in mind, right? And within keeping that in mind, he needs to let this female know what type of man he is. You know what I'm saying? Now, does he want to do it in a firm way, or does he want to do it in an incognito way, right? Because nowadays, depending on what type of female it is, she could be in a lifestyle to where, pimp might want to be really firm with it, but she might be, in between, to where pimp might want to just be real incognito, but drop enough jewels so she picks it up to where she's either going to be pro or she's going to be a little negative, and the pimp brain will be able to pick up on that. And if he picks up on it well enough, that's when, the interview can go to another level, right? To where, we can start talking, or the pimp man can start talking about fees, see if her mind is even capable to have those type of conversations, or if her mind is capable of having a conversation about full commitment, right? A lot of these females, they got a lot going on, but it's like, okay, if you want to deal with, the pimp man, then you might need full commitment to deal with that type of man. You got to try to see, is she even capable of having those type of conversations? And if she is, there's still one more layer to that catch-in. The pimp man, he had her on the fingertips in the beginning. Now they had the little interview. He got a little grip. The catch-in got a little grip now. But there's still one more layer. And that last layer is her not only giving you that full commitment or that fee in full commitment, because it's, goes hand in hand, but also following that pimp man's program, right? So now you threw out some suggestions to her, she's catching on, and y'all running with it. Now she might be out there doing her thing, trapping or whatnot. Now she has to be able to come back with that trap and hand it to that pimp man, because that's the seal of the deal of him having a catch-in. He can get the number, man. He can go do the interviews. He could do many interviews. But if till he's able to, give that girl some suggestions and she go out there and perform it, bring back a trap and hand it to him, then that catch-in is never solidified. That catch-in can go to the trash if it doesn't get solidified by her coming back and handing him something to his catch-in. And the pimp man knows when he has a solidified catch-in, that catch-in with the females, the timing, changes. You got fly-by-nights. Pimp man has a good catch-in where he gonna get a fly-by-night. The female didn't stick around, but he got some twos and threes for her before she blew. Then he gonna get another catch-in to where, the female might stick around with him for some years. And then within that, having that catch-in with that one female that stuck around for some years, he gonna get more fly-by-nights, still having that one or still having two. So when his catch-in is solidified, he understands that fly-by-nights come, 30-day runs come, 3 years comes, life-changing events come. But as long as he keeps in mind to have a sharp catch-in, he's always going to be available for those moments. The pimp man really, when he has a solidified catch-in, he knows the catch-in keeps working even after he catches. You dig? So yeah, P, ain't no reason to be discouraged. Just keep working on your catch-in, man. And when you polish it up, you know what I'm talking about? When you start catching things and everything's coming in your way and falling in your lap, then we could talk about having to keep him. But for now, man, I just want to give y'all some game from the GrassRoots. Appreciate y'all time. Make sure to hit me with a subscribe, and make sure to maintain a durable mind. I'll holler.
Bullshit, I'll take all the money.
How that sound?
You can keep the bullshit, I'll take all the money. You can keep the bullshit, I'll take all the money.
Illustrating the ism.
Whole lot of tank shit, man.
Hey,
The South, East in here too, man. This shit slap like pimp pants.
hey,
Hey,
hey.
hey. This shit slap like pimp pants.